So in the last video, we talked about buy-in not being optional, about having a best way to do things, but also as an organization being flexible and being open and change so we can continuously improve. And then everyone, all boats rise, and together we can all get there. But I want to take a step back from that. Something I probably should have brought up in that video, and probably is this idea of stay, enjoy, or leave in peace. There's an idea that I had that most people have about work and business is that you go to work and it's great, or you go to work and it's not great, and you contribute or you don't, or you buy in or you don't, and that somehow all of this is just what it is. And as you know by now, are struggling or we're working hard to have a very intentional culture, to have an intentional process, to decide that we're going to have a better world, we're going to have a better work life, and we're going to have a better process to achieve that better work life together. So we all can enjoy this process together. We can all benefit as a firm and get us to the kind of place that we want to be, a place that we enjoy going to work. But there are going to be times that our vision of the firm, I'm talking about the partners, our processes, our procedures, our goals, won't or don't align with a particular employee, whether it's a lawyer, intake team member, paralegal, whatever. And the old model, I'll just say the old model, the outdated model that we want to avoid is having a person that's grumpy. The grumpy person is difficult, and we will all then work hard to convince that grumpy person to come with us to the new way, which we already told you we're not going to do because buy-in is not optional at our firm. But then they stay grumpy or they come around. But you really don't have a lot of control over which one they do. It kind of puts it all in the hands of the employee. They kind of have that choice. But in our culture, we don't make that choice, right? We don't have that choice to make. The way we frame it is that you can stay here at our firm, enjoy, and that means buy in, go for it, embrace it, own it, improve it, love it, be vibrant in it, or simply go in peace. It's not personal. It doesn't have to be personal. It certainly doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to be negative, and it's not necessarily a failure. And it's not that we can't get along. It's just, look, this is the vision that we've created for this firm, and you can't you can't align with that. And so it's time for you to move on. And it's not sudden or surprising in the Donald Trump, you're fired kind of way, but more of, hey, this is where we're going. You're not on board. What's going on? What is there going to be a way to fix it? And unfortunately, the traditional law firm approach is, hey, you're not doing what we asked you to do. And the response is, yeah, because I don't think that's right. And then the conversation sort of ends with both sides of the equation butting heads. But for us here in this firm, we're going to say, hey, look, this is where we're going. This is our vision. This is how we want to treat our clients and take our firm. We've been transparent about that from the start. We shared that with you. We encourage you to buy in. But you're not buying in. You're not doing it. And the response might be, well, I'm not doing that because I don't agree with it. But my response to that is, well, what are you going to do to get on board with that? And what's your plan to get on board? What's your plan to be part of this process? Because that's important. It's my way, it's our way, or it's no way at all. And if you say, look, I'm not going to be part of that, I don't agree with it, then I'm going to simply say, what's your plan to transition out of the office? We can talk about timing. We can talk about helping you find a place that's better for you. But if your response to that is, well, I don't want to leave, then it's a question of how are you going to get back on board with the way we're going. So that's really our model. We don't want to have those conversations because they're awkward. And we try to be very transparent. We want people to be transparent with us. So it's kind of easy to recognize if someone's working here and their interests aren't aligning with the interests that we have as a firm. And I'd like to have an open dialogue about that. It's not to say, hey, we're going to have a bad conversation in a couple of weeks if you're not getting on board and doing it the way we want to do it. It's more like, hey, look, man, we've tried this. We've been practicing, the partners have been practicing for almost 100 years. Buy into our processes, improve on them, make them your own, own them, make them better. And then there still may come a point in life when your path takes you, whatever your goals are and what our vision is, and they don't align. Talk to us about that. It may be that they align closer, and we had to have it with people leaving the firm but working remotely. But I don't want to have that interpersonal tension. So I would love it if someone came into this firm and say, hey, look, I want to be good at this role. I want to do it for 2 years or 4 years, but I want to go to law school, or I want to work remotely, or I want to try a new area of law. This is going to be a stepping stone. That's fantastic. If you can come in and we can be efficient at it and you do great work for us, I would love to help you reach the goal of your next stage of life. But in able to do that, right, we have to be open and transparent with each other. We have to talk about what our future plans are. And we have to have an understanding that there's our way of doing it and then there's leaving. But it doesn't have to be a tension. We don't need to butt heads over it. So what I want to do after all of this is, remember, I want you to be here and like it. I want you to stay in joy. I want you to leave peacefully. And if I can help you realize the goals, the next 10 years, 20 years, 40 years of your life, I would love to be a part of that, because every job, you have to think that you're going somewhere. And I don't want you to go home every night and have that uncomfortable feeling. Your advancement may be part of this firm. You may go from intake team to paralegal and then go to law school and join us as a lawyer. But if that doesn't fit with you, that's fine too. Not everyone's going to be here for life. I understand that. I don't know if I'm going to be here for life. I'd like to leave this firm in a place, maybe I go someplace else, but the firm can still function its own, because I care about all of you and I want you to have the type of employment opportunity that you care about. So let's work together to stay in joy and leave in peace.